Okay, welcome back in yet again. I'm going to be continuing this 32 in 32 series. This time I'll be looking at the Los Angeles Chargers and what a turnaround they had from, I think, what was like a 5-12 season in 2023-24, just to improve to 11-6. And all it took was bringing Jim Harbaugh back to the NFL and taking him away from Michigan of the College Football League. So they would finish second in the AFC West with an 11-6 record, as I previously just mentioned. So they would make the postseason and finish as the number 5 seed in the AFC. We'll take a look at their regular season schedule. So they started the season off on a very hot note, winning 2 games against the Raiders and Panthers before dropping 2 straight games to the Steelers and Chiefs, respectively, heading into their early Week 5 bye. After their bye week, they would defeat the Broncos, lose to the Cardinals, and then after that, they'd go on a 1-2-3-4 game winning streak, defeating the Saints, Browns, Titans, and Bengals. That winning streak, unfortunately, would come to a stop against Jim's brother John in the Ravens, losing that game 30-23. After that, they would defeat the Falcons, lose 2 games to the Chiefs and Buccaneers, respectively, before finishing the season off strong against the Broncos, Patriots, and Raiders. So they would finish, like I said, with an 11-6 record. Therefore, they would finish as the number 5 seed in the AFC. They would go on to take on the Houston Texans, but unfortunately, Los Angeles, they chargered it, losing by 20 points. I've said this so many times, but I still remember watching that game, and then I'm pretty sure that Chargers just scored a touchdown. They were looking to, get within 1 score with a PAT. That got blocked. Houston got the ball back, ran it down the field for 2 points, and then they just kind of took over from there. So a very unfortunate ending to the Chargers season, but it was still successful compared to the year before. So we'll take a look at the stats. You can see them in the standings. They were just 4 games behind the Chiefs and 1 game above the Broncos in that aspect. So on offense, they would finish 19th overall with 3,631 passing yards. Receiving yards, they would also finish 19th in the league with 3,901. First downs, unfortunately, they were near the bottom of the league with 82, which was 27th overall. Rushing yards, they were around the middle of the pack, 17th overall with 1,882 yards. And points, they were 11th in the league with 402. So take a look at the defense. So defense, they were 6th in sacks, so at least they were in the top 10 of a certain category. They had 46 on the season. Interceptions, they were 10th in the league with 15. Forced fumbles, unfortunately, they had a hard time turning the ball over, only getting 8 turnovers all year, which was 28th in the league. And tackles, they were 18th. They had 650 on the season. Special teams, field goals made, they were 3rd in the league, making 39 of them. Field goal percentage, they were 4th in the league with 92.9%. So unfortunately, they weren't perfect in that aspect. And then extra points made, they made 33 of them. And their extra point percentage, unfortunately, was 29th in the league, which was 91.7. So they did miss a few PATs as well. So now we'll take a look at the players' individual stats. So Justin Herbert, he would finish the season with 3,870 yards, a 65.87% completion rated, and his touchdown to interception ratio was just off the charts, 23-3 all year long. So only having 3 picks all year, you're clearly doing something right. Ladd McConkey, the rookie wide receiver, would finish with 1,149 yards on 82 receptions and 7 touchdowns. Quentin Johnson would finish with 711 receiving yards on 55 catches and 8 TDs himself. J.K. Dobbins I'm sure he would have loved to have gotten to that 1,000-yard rushing yard mark, but unfortunately he finished 95 yards shy on 195 attempts and 9 TDs. Gus Edwards, the other running back, would finish with 365 rushing yards, 101 attempts, and 4 TDs of his own. So Tuipulotu, if I say that name incorrectly, which I guarantee I did, would finish with 8.5 sacks on the season, 22 total tackles, and 1 forced fumble. Diane Henley, the inside linebacker, would finish with 82 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 interception. And Tarheeb Still, the cornerback, would finish with 4 interceptions, 10 pass deflections, and 45 tackles. Cameron Dicker, the kicker, would finish with 39 out of 42 for field goals, so that would be a 92.86 field goal percentage. And J.K. Scott, the punter, would finish with 3,362 yards on 72 punts, averaging just over 46 yards a kick. So yeah, my overall review for the team, very good improvement. Jim Harbaugh just seems to have success everywhere he goes, especially when it's year one. So I think in his first year with San Fran, he improved the team. They made the playoffs, and then he left San Fran to go to college, and he had success right away with Michigan, obviously winning a championship there in his tenure with them, and then coming back to the NFL with the Los Angeles Chargers just to improve the teams, winning by 6 games from one year to the next, and making the postseason. So very good improvement for the Chargers, and I think that AFC West is going to be the best division moving forward, only because the coaches that they have, the players that are on the teams, and the leaders set by example. And now that I've said this before with my Broncos video, now that Pete Carroll has joined the Las Vegas Raiders, those are 4 Hall of Fame coaches just in one division. And I'm not trying to, hype up the division that it's going to be the best, but think about it. There's 4 really good coaches in the division, 3 very good teams. Now, with the Raiders, they could be a question mark, but if Pete Carroll can have the same success that Jim Harbaugh had with the Chargers, there could be 4 teams from the AFC West making the playoffs. But if I'm going to be realistic, I think maybe 2, possibly 3 teams. For me, the Raiders are a bit of a wild card, or no pun intended, but only because, like I said before with my other videos, when I look at the other divisions, guaranteed 3 teams are making it, and I don't see a scenario where the Raiders make it and the Bengals and or Ravens don't. I just think those 2 teams are just that good that they both will make it next year, which means there's only 2 openings left for the wild card, and I think the Chargers for sure will get it. And because I'm a Broncos fan and I have optimism, I think they're likely to get it as well. So if you're a Raiders fan, I'm not trying to disrespect you in any way, but I'm looking at the talent around the AFC, and they might be close. But again, I just don't see a scenario where the Bengals miss the playoffs 2 years in a row and they finish below Las Vegas in the standings. So I feel like I'm talking about teams I'm not supposed to, considering this is a Chargers video. But yeah, very good season overall for Los Angeles. And again, there should be hope and optimism that this team should be competitive again next year. Justin Herbert, in my opinion, is an elite quarterback in this league. And if he has the same stats next year as he did this year, that would be absurd. Think about it, playing 17 games and only getting 3 interceptions. That is unreal. I'm pretty sure of all the quarterbacks played, he had the lowest interceptions. I've never seen a stat like that in my mind. It just blows my mind. Anyways, I'm losing my voice, so I better stop the video before I go completely silent. But as always, if you're new to this channel and you like this type of content, feel free to hit the sub button. I'd be very grateful and very appreciative. Until next time, and as always, take care.